The Big Apple Boys. Honestly, one of the most underrated teams in the entire league. Now, although they did go into the playoffs as a third seed in their division, they were only third to the second and third ranked team in the entire league. And they have quietly created one of the most talented rosters in the game. And although everything seems great right now, they're honestly in more of a dire situation than people let on. With the personnel in their lineup right now, they really only have about 2 to 3 more years to make a cup run with them. People forget that Panarin came into the league late as a rookie and is already 31 years old with only 3 years left on his contract. Kreider's already 32 with only 4 years left. Zibanejad's 30 years old with 7 years left on his contract. And the newly acquired Trocheck is already 29 years old with 6 years left on his contract. With those guys being the main driving points of the offense, all around 30 years old, the prime time to strike is right now with these guys. You have a great defensive core already with Fox, Miller, Schneider, and Jones led by Trouba. But with a first overall and second overall pick in Lafreniere and Kakko Capo, to this point in their careers, not living up to the hype. Now, of course, that doesn't mean they can't. I mean, look at Tage Thompson. He took like 5 years to develop. But the Rangers are on more of a time crunch than meets the eye. With Mott, Lafreniere, Tarasenko, Miller, and Mikkola all UFAs or RFAs right now, with most of them deserving a decent contract. With Schneider, Lindgren, and Capo next year, they are contractually locking themselves into this roster, and they need to make a push to win ASAP, because not many organizations are blessed with such a lineup, and they won't be for very long with this contract situation as well as their cap space. But don't fret, as they stand now, they have everything you could want in a winning team. With this lineup, they have all the tools to win a cup. They have great center depth 1 through 3. Tons of gritty skill players up and down the lineup, offense and defense, with one of the best goalies in the entire world. But here's one issue I have with Lafreniere and Kakko Capo. It's not their fault that they haven't developed properly. In this organization, they are required to provide for the bottom 6, as well as try and rapidly develop themselves into the best players they can possibly be, which sadly I feel really stunts their growth as a player. And I get it, they've done this with a lot of their prospects. For example, this year with Schneider. He was drafted only 2 years ago and was brought up rapidly because they really needed to make a push with the best players they had in the organization, trying to capitalize on ELCs so that way they can get the most bang for their buck, which would be fine if these guys were more NHL ready. Now, surprisingly, honestly, Schneider probably played the best out of all of them. The kid's playstyle just fit well with the Rangers. Now, although Lafreniere and Kakko Capo did play well as well, for as fantastic as these guys really can be, as much as fans don't want to admit it, it's been a disappointing couple of seasons. Not saying they're bad, but they could have been so good if they just took a year to calm down and develop what they needed to and come up when they're ready. But I understand both sides because that's not what the organization needed at the time. Sorry, that was a nice little rant, but let's get into the player now. Riley Heidt is the perfect player for this kind of situation. Standing at 5'11", 179 pounds, playing for the Prince George Cougars in the WHL. He scored 25 goals and 72 assists for 97 points in only 68 games. And he plays both center and wing, so he's a versatile player. He is an elite playmaker and a spark plug in the offensive zone. 25 goals does not really explain the tale of this kid. This kid plays the same way night in, night out. He throws everything to the net. And as teams see that he is throwing everything to the net, they try to get in his shooting lanes. When that happens, he creates a lot of passing lanes, and with his elite IQ and passing ability, he can thread the needle. And with amazing goal-scoring talent that they have on this offensive lineup, this kid will fit in perfectly. For a team that utilizes the rush so well, a kid who is so unpredictable on the rush, very quick, and has incredible execution is the perfect guy that you can get. He's a little undersized, but I think he's very NHL ready. And with incredible players around him, both young and experienced, this kid will develop so fast. And with an unstoppable style of always getting the puck to the net, whether it's him or his teammate, whether it is always effective or not is not going to be an issue. Because on a team full of, let's be honest, incredible talent but streaky players, in an 82-game season, this kid's consistency will shine. But as a highly touted player, who knows if he'll be available at pick 23. So let's quickly explore other options. Gavin Brindley, standing at 5'9", 157 pounds, playing for Michigan in the NCAA. With 12 goals and 26 assists for 38 points in 41 games, he is an absolute steal for a team. He brings a ton of grit and speed for a small guy, with a great commitment to the defensive zone, and a great offensive flair that really didn't get to show that much due to an incredibly talented Michigan roster, pushing him down the lineup and honestly taking away a lot of minutes he probably could have had on another team. And very fast, Quentin Musty for the Sudbury Wolves in the OHL. A fantastic offensive talent with a big frame, but often lacks competitive effort, causing him to be a streaky player with a lot of talent. Sound familiar in New York? He's very NHL ready, just needs to show more effort. Him and Brindley should be available at 23. That's all I got for you today. Don't forget to subscribe and comment your team so I can do them next.